Okay, this is from Manga Tama.
While we sheltered in place, the team at Downstate University Hospital worked day and night.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my final video of 2023. I'm so excited for this one. Today I want to share 7 series with you guys that I really enjoyed over the course of the year and that I want.
I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of romance novels and probably a lot of mystery shit, but we'll see. I could be wrong. So, manga you need to read in 2024 by Top Manga, and my Top Manga 2023. Okay, 2024 and 2023. Okay, from Manga Tema. So we'll see where that goes.
I want to recommend to you guys in this upcoming year. I tried my best to include a bunch of different genres and some series that you guys might not have checked out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first series on this list is Pluto by Naoki Urasawa. This is a classic series that I really should have checked out earlier. But earlier this year, the Pluto anime was released and oh my goodness, it was so good. I actually went into it completely blind and was met with a very interesting world of humans and very intelligent robots that coexist. In this world, it was starting to get harder to distinguish between these really intelligent robots and humans. And so that's what made me want to check out this manga. We have our main character, Gehishito. Sorry guys, I really butchered that name, but he's one of the most intelligent robots on Earth and he works as a detective for Europol. He's confronted with this growing case of robots that have been getting murdered recently, and he ends up finding out throughout the series that this case runs a lot deeper than everyone initially thinks. This series is a wonderful and actually pretty deep discussion on the themes of artificial intelligence, war, and hatred. So guys, if a robot gains the ability to feel emotions just like humans, does that make them still any less than humans? And how far does hatred really run? So this series asks questions like that and a bunch of other ones, and yeah, it just got me thinking a bunch. And of course guys, it's Naoki Urasawa, the master storyteller and artist, so in my opinion, this series is definitely one to check out. This next series is of a very different genre.
So far, I was right so far. Both mystery and romance so far. But I gotta be fair.
Condition called Love, or Hananoi-kun to Koi no Yamai. It's a shoujo if you couldn't tell by the cover, but this series is just so cute. I picked this up earlier this year. Actually, if you guys watched my Animate shopping video, yeah, that's where I picked it up, and I've been reading it at cafes and parks, so I honestly just have really good memories associated with this series. And although this is a shoujo, it starts off a bit unconventionally. We have our male lead, Hananoi-kun, who has a lot of love to give, and his love language is definitely acts of service, from what I can tell.
Oh,
and he's actually the one who confesses to our girl Hotaru-chan, who doesn't really understand love, and she really questions if she's able to ever love somebody. So she decides to take this leap of faith and try dating him, and it's just a wonderful development arc of her learning how to think of somebody else and how she realizes that making them happy actually makes her happy too, and all of that cute mushy stuff. The art is just so adorable, and there were so many moments in this series where I really had to take a break because it was just too cute. So shoujo fans, definitely give this one a read. Hi everyone! Speaking of my favorites in 2023, recently I've been playing this really pretty mobile dress-up game and social simulation game called Life Makeover, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. And a huge thank you to Life Makeover for sponsoring this video.
No.
Series on this list is The Apothecary Diaries or Kusuriya no Hitorikoto, and this one is such a refreshing one. This series is the perfect balance of comedy, mystery, relaxing, yet also very intriguing, and obviously with some very charming characters and art. And this series originated from a light novel. We have our main character Mao Mao, who grew up with her apothecary father, but one day she gets kidnapped and brought to the imperial court as a maid, where she learns of the crazy hierarchy and politics that basically rule the court and all of the relationships within it. So she kind of decides she wants to stay low-key and not stand out so she could have a peaceful life as she could. But since she is very knowledgeable about herbs and medicine growing up under her father, she finds herself involved in a lot of mysterious cases, such as where concubines are getting poisoned, babies are dying, and a lot of other intriguing situations. So you never really know where the next chapter or episode is going to take you. It's been really fun both reading and watching this series so far because it's airing right now. I highly recommend this series for everyone regardless of what genres you normally enjoy. It's just really cute. Next up, we have Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon. I'm actually filming this in store, guys, because I couldn't find volume 1 to buy, so I might save collecting this one physically for the future, but I still really
Not gonna lie, this one's the most decent one out of all of them.
wanted to recommend this to you guys because I personally really love cooking and baking series. There's something about them that's just so cozy and fun to read. So the premise of the story is that a powerful magician has sunk the Golden Kingdom, and so the king of the Golden Kingdom offers
They
great
already made
rewards
an
to
anime.
anybody who's
Yeah,
able to
the anime on Netflix is pretty good. It's fun.
and defeat this magician. So our main character is really up for the challenge, and he ends up meeting a lot of different characters who join him on his adventure. And one of them actually decides he wants to try cooking a monster, and from that moment they unlock the world of monster cuisine. The characters are so wonderful, and I absolutely love their dynamic and their interactions together. And of course, this series' world building is literally a masterpiece. There's great lore in this fantasy world, and of course the food depicted on here is mouth-watering, even though they're really made of monsters. This series is just the incredible balance of comedy, fantasy, food, and a lot more, so I just highly recommend checking this out. Our next series, Kori no Joheki, is a cute rom-com series. The art is really simple, but really refreshing and charming. I believe this started out as an online series before getting published physically, but the story is about our high school protagonist who gives off ice-cold queen vibes. Everyone in the school is just kind of scared of her, except her childhood best friend who's really super popular at school, but she secretly has the personality and strength of a gorilla when they're alone. The main character has had a really hard time with friends and has always put up a—
Did it really just kick me out of YouTube?
What's with the Asians whenever they're trying to make fun of a woman or they make a woman something more masculine, they always use a gorilla. I noticed that. They used that in Fire Force. They used that in what other show? Some other show I can't think of right now, but like they use gorillas a lot.
Wall as a way to deal with the endless teasing that she dealt with in middle school. So in the series, she deals with her trauma and opening up to people, and she slowly starts to encounter characters who she finds easier to let in. This entire series revolves around 4 main characters and how their lives all end up entangling with one another. The series is funny, romantic, just really charming, and overall a really great school slice of life. I actually just hauled this series in my last video, but I'm already so deep into the series, I've read so much of it, and I really can't wait to see what happens next. Our next series, Yofukashi no Ta, or Call of the Night, is such an interesting take on a vampire story. I also hauled this one recently, but this series is a mix of romance, comedy, and vampire activity. Our main character, Cole, used to be a popular star student at school, but he really was never content with his life, so he started to skip school, and because of that, he became unable to sleep at night. Wandering the streets one night, he bumps into this vampire girl, Nazuna-chan, who tries to help him figure out his sleeplessness. And also, she finds out that his blood tastes delicious. So they talk a bit further and discover further that she's a vampire, and that's when he decides he wants to become a vampire too. But he can only become a vampire if he falls in love with Nazuna-chan, and she then sucks his blood. So here, their bloody and romantic story begins. This is such a novel idea in my eyes, or it's just been a really long time since I've read a vampire series, and it's just pretty cute. Both characters are quite bold in their vampire-esque activities, and there are some mature themes, but no mature art, so read at your own discretion. But yeah, both characters are quite shy actually when it comes to romance, so it just makes for a really cute and bashful story.
I keep
My last
putting this one
recommendation
off.
on this list is Baking de Katahong, which translates to books bought with taxpayer money. So this series is an incredibly wholesome series about libraries, books, reading. We have this delinquent high schooler who walks into a library one day asking to get a library card, but then the library staff realizes that he hasn't returned a book he's borrowed since like 10 years ago, so he needs to buy another copy of that book to return to the library first. And he learns from these librarians how important it is to keep all the books available in the library and in good condition for everyone to read. And through this series, you can really see the passion and dedication of the library staff, and it really does mimic real life. Like, real life librarians are saints. And I've also just been learning so much through this series, such as how damaged books are dealt with, how different people read books, different types of scenarios that librarians have to deal with on a daily basis, and a lot more things. And it just makes me see libraries in such a different light. So this series is incredibly wholesome, refreshing, and relaxing, and it's really cozy too. And I think it just does a great job in being both entertaining and educational in how libraries and books work in general. And the art is just so cute too, of course. So I definitely think this one is worth checking out. Okay guys, we made it to the end. Those are just some of my top series this year. It was really so hard to choose, but I really wanted to focus on introducing some series that were so not well known and also of varying genres. And also, I'm really curious as to what your guys' favorite series were this year, so please comment them down below. I'd love to check them all out. And before we end the video, I wanted to thank Life Makeover again for providing me such a fun and relaxing, pretty game to play this year. I highly recommend you guys to check it out. I think you guys will really like it.
Trevor
so
Grant,
click the link down below to check out more about it. And to download
I told
and play
you!
today.
Majority of them was either romance or mystery. That's I know the I'm not saying I know females, but I know the female demographic, what they're gonna most likely read. I'm not saying not all won't read a shonen or something much or a horror or something, but the likelihood, no. Like if I presented this shit to my girlfriend, she'll take like 3 of them. Maybe not the library one. I know that for a fact, but Jesus Christ, that sounds boring.
And happy holidays, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you guys for such a wonderful year of 2023, and I'll see you guys in the new year for my next video. Bye.
And just to be clear, this was not an attack on her. She did her job. She did her job. She knows her target audience. I was just unfortunate to predict what I was going to find based on how she was talking, the whole aesthetic. There was no way in hell this woman was going to talk about insane gore shit the way she's talking. In this aesthetic she's trying to pull off. There was no way.
Raiga Samurai. Pretty spot on teach.
Oh. Alright, well, you know what? Should I do another one? I'll do another one, because that's not... I don't feel like we got anything out of that, honestly. Not attack on Tema, I think that's Tema's, that's not her fault. That's not her fault.
Trevor Grant. So Berserk is just a wonderful.
Imagine she said that. I was like, why? Like, it would be just so off-putting. Okay, let me see. How long is this one? 40 minutes? No.
Sure.
Something more. Okay.